So what possibly can happen scary on Instagram, my guy? Only thing I can think of is someone meeting someone in person off of Instagram. Because yes, that can go big scary, but I don't think I've ever like heard any scary horror stories from Instagram. I've heard stories like real life and like about from Twitter, from Facebook, from Snap, especially Craigslist. But I don't think I've ever heard anything like bad from Instagram. But then again, I don't use it that much. By the way, check out 3 disturbing true Instagram horror stories by the homie Mr. Nightmare. Now this one should be good because I feel like this all be new. However, though, I'm so tempted to watch this. To my right, I'm seeing something that says 3 disturbing true babysitting horror stories. I bet that's good. No, not hear about that though. About to go check out 3 disturbing true Instagram horror stories and check out the original video. Link in the description below. But let's go. The video contains 1 new story added to a video uploaded over. We go back. What did that say? Oh, which have been re-uploaded. Oh, so this is a re-upload. Well, what 1 new story? Be quiet. Shut up. Y'all talk so much. Hey, just wanted to say you're really cute. Appreciate that. So how old are you?
I'm sure most of you use Instagram this day and age.
I just
Whether
started.
you have a big following or none at all, it's just something most of society uses. Apparently the app has over 1 billion active users, which I find insane. I had about 300 followers at the time this happened. I live in a rural town, so I guess that's a lot for people around us. We don't know a lot of people
really,
outside of our districts. One night watching a movie, my phone vibrated. It said a girl named Holly started following me on Instagram.
It ain't no girl.
So I opened up Instagram to check out her profile. And she was this really gorgeous blonde girl with like 5,000 followers. She had about 50 pictures. They were all spaced out realistically as far as the dates they were posted. Usually when I get followers like this, I'll check to make sure they're actually legit. She got like 600 likes per picture and a bunch of comments from guys I assume she didn't even know. Hearts
she wouldn't
and
be hitting you
drooling emojis and whatever.
If she looked that good, all the followers.
I kid you not. As I was going through her page, before I even followed her back, she DM'd me.
That's a man.
She said, "Hey, I honestly don't do this a lot, but I thought you're really cute." To be honest, and not to sound like a douche, I am pretty fit, and I've been told I'm pretty attractive.
Me like, what you
and
know?
I have had some girls DM me in the past. So I followed her back and DM'd her the same, saying I think you're cute too. Then we went on to have a pretty long conversation. It was going really well.
Yeah?
We talked about fitness and what high schools we went to, and honestly it was great. She gave me her number, and we quickly got to setting up a meetup for the next night, which was a Friday night.
At least
we agreed we'd meet at a popular bar called Lucky's for a couple drinks.
That was okay. That was
Friday
smart.
night, as the nerves are starting to kick in, I prepare myself for this little date. Never had I gone on a date straight from an Instagram DM, but this girl was downright gorgeous. I drove down to Lucky's and sat in my car in the parking lot, awaiting her call or text to let.
Because the reason why, my bad, stop it. She not gonna show up. The reason why, because he in his car also behind you. You gonna be like, where you at? Where you ain't gonna come to? You gonna drop back home all mad, but that person gonna be following you. Watch, I'm right. Watch. Woo. I'm telling you, look, I know I'm not the only one that, like, especially randomly lately, it's been bad. Like, I be getting these invites to first from like these super duper bad like women, which obviously is not them. Because trust me, I told you that before. If the girl is really fine, like she look hella good, they not gonna hit you up. They look too good to do that, and they know it. They're not about to hit you up, clown.
She was there. Eventually, she did text me, but not to let me know she was there. She said her car broke down and she needed a ride.
No.
I had to reread it a couple times to be sure I was reading it correctly.
She gonna say, come there, pick her up.
I tried calling her, but she didn't accept the call.
Cause it ain't no girl on the other end.
She texted me describing her location. I didn't answer just yet. I took one more good look at her Instagram profile, and it was definitely real.
No, it ain't.
She had friends tagged in her pictures, commenting on her pictures, so I knew I wasn't getting catfished. I texted back on my way, and off I went.
See?
I drove down the quiet side roads towards the location she described.
Thinking with your ding dong.
I made it, but it was a weird spot for her car to have broken down. I saw a car pulled off to the side of the road next to the woods.
Stupid sound
Actually,
effect.
there were woods on either side of this road. The car had its hood open, so it had to be her. I tried calling, but it didn't go through. I looked at my phone and realized I had no bars here.
This is a good setup.
I parked my car on the other side of the road and got out.
Why would you
As
get
I walked
out?
over to her car, which was a black Nissan Altima, I realized I couldn't see inside of it at all. The windows were completely tinted black. I lightly tapped on the window and waited. No one opened the door, so I walked around to the front hood, just to see if she had attempted to do any work on the engine, I guess. As far as I could tell, she didn't.
Duh, 'cause it's fake!
I was losing patience. I texted her, "Where are you? I'm about to leave."
She in your car.
As I walked back to the side of the car, I noticed the driver's side window had now been cracked down. I knew for a fact they were all shut a minute ago. I called Holly's name, knowing someone had to be in the car now. As I walked a little closer to get a look inside,
you said big man.
Someone's fist reached out from the window and started signaling for me to come closer with their pointer finger. I felt my stomach drop, realizing it was definitely a man's hand.
Exactly!
I told him in a shaky voice, "Get lost," as I ran back to my—
Oh, don't do that! Oh my god, okay, for one, this person is good, okay? And you're dumb. For one, if I'm pulling up to you, especially if it's on dark road, and I see I ain't got no signal, don't get me wrong, I know when you're really in these situations, it's hard to do things that you say you would do. But this one you could have, because you could have still been safe. You could have stayed in your car. I would have put up on the side of your car. Everything on mine is still locked. Crack my window a little bit, like a little bit, like coming out like a little bit. And I'm like, yo, you up in there? If they don't say nothing, they don't get out. Obviously, you don't need help. If she not out the car and like, oh, hey, I'm here. Obviously, she don't need help that bad. That should give you a sign.
I told him in a shaky voice, "Get lost," as I ran back to my car. I sped away and made the first right turn off the street.
Don't go right to your house, neither.
Because of my constant glances in the rearview mirror, I eventually spotted a car with its lights off trailing behind me. I thought to do the same. I turned off the lights on my car and started making as many turns as possible. And eventually I did lose the car. When I got home, the profile had already blocked me. But I found out at a later date that that profile was in fact real, but that the girl in the pictures was hacked by some creepy dude. And I wasn't even this only guy's victim of whatever plan he had. I just hope everyone else was as fortunate as me.
What seriously? I don't get it. What seriously makes you just want another person? Like, I've never... This guy got big. Like, you still dumb for getting out the car. There's no way I would get out the car if I had no service and was... Okay,
I have an Instagram account with 1,100 followers. I had it set to public, so anybody could come onto my page and look at my pictures, like them, and comment on them. So oftentimes I'd get people I didn't know liking my pictures and commenting on them. But one person stood out from the rest. I remember his first comment on one of my photos. It was a beach picture with one of my friends, so I was wearing a swimsuit. I had like 11 comments on it, but one of them was from somebody I didn't know. It was 3 flame emojis. I clicked the man's profile. He had 3 pictures, 80 followers, and he was following over 200 people, including me. All 3 of his pictures were of him, selfies, which didn't look right given that he looked like he was 40 or 50. I didn't mind though, it's expected to happen to a certain
sugar daddy.
However, after that photo, it started becoming a thing where the man would just comment on every new photo I posted.
Just ignore it, just let him post.
One comment just said hot. This one was a little creepier, honestly. But then 2 days later, after posting my next picture, the man didn't comment this time. Instead, he sent me a direct message. It said, "Hey, I just wanted to tell you that you're beautiful, even though I'm like 30 years older than you, LOL. I responded, "LOL, thanks."
Good response,
which I'm surprised I did.
Quick,
most people
boom.
would have probably ignored it.
I would have ignored it.
He got back to me with, "I would kill to meet a girl like you."
No, you good?
I replied 10 minutes later with thanks, hoping he wouldn't say anything
Thanks,
else.
okay.
But he got back to me with, "Maybe one day I'll meet you, ...
That's when you block him.
I didn't reply to that one. I found everything about the guy creepy, but I didn't block him. I figured, why get rid of a free follow and likes? I hadn't heard from him until I posted a new photo. This one of my sister Carol and I in front of our house. The man commented quickly on the photo, saying, "You and your sister are so cute." Now it was becoming too much for me.
Just block him!
So I removed the comment and blocked him.
There we go. Now you know you live at too late.
Later in the day, Carol and I were home alone. I was in the bathroom doing my nails, getting ready to go out.
If he know where she lives.
I noticed a car I didn't recognize pull up in front of the house through the window. But only the front. The rest of the car was covered by the bush that separates our front yard from the neighbors. The headlight shut off, but I didn't see anyone step out of the car. I took note of this only because we're on a dead-end block, so we don't get any through traffic. I shut the blind just because I was on full display.
How good of a stalker do you gotta be?
My sister was in her room on her laptop when the time came for me to leave. I didn't bother saying goodbye. Usually we just text each other that we're going out anyway.
Nah, we staying together tonight.
I went to my car, looking at the mysterious car, which revealed to be a Maxima. The tinted windows mixed with the darkness of the night made it impossible to see inside of it. I got in my car, did a 3-point turn, and drove down the one-sided street to the nearest main road.
He's following you.
I went to a social gathering at a friend's house. I wouldn't call it a party, but a decent amount of drinking went on. I cut myself off a little early since I knew I had to drive. But still, I'll admit, and I don't condone this kind of behavior whatsoever, I was pretty tipsy when I was driving home. It was only a 5-minute drive.
Don't drink and drive.
I pulled up to my house, and the first thing I noticed was the Maxima still parked out front.
This guy is big crazy.
I needed to know whose car was that.
You must really want her to be still there. Even if I would never ever be in that situation, I would never ever be a stalker to anyone. It's not in me. I don't care if I don't want anybody that bad. Trust me, I do not. All right. Even if I was, my patience run thin. You ain't back by 2 minutes. You know what? Actually, I'm hungry. I'm out. She taking too long. I'm gone. My God, I'm not about to sit there all night. My guy's stalking, boy. He don't play.
I needed to know whose car was that.
Don't worry about it, nosy.
I passed it slowly, but still couldn't see inside of it. I parked and texted a few friends that I got home safe before stepping outside and walking up to my house. I was eyeing that car parked out front all the way up to the front door, where I dropped my keys.
Stab you.
At which point, for whatever reason, I was too scared to bend over and look for them. Instead, I rang the doorbell like 5 times so my sister would answer quickly. She never answered the door though.
She did.
So I was forced to get on my knees and look for the keys. They actually landed right on the doormat. I opened the door and went inside pretty swiftly, taking one last look at the Maxima before shutting the door. It was past midnight, but my sister was usually still up this late, so I dizzily but quietly walked up the stairs and down the hall towards her door. And oddly enough, it was wide open, but the lights were out.
Man, that dude in there.
Maybe she went out for once. I crept into the room, and my heart skipped a beat as my mind tried to put together the faint noise I was hearing. It took me a while to realize it was a whisper. The whisper of my sister, who was coming from the closet. The closet was cracked open, and I saw my sister peeping her eyes through the crack. She was visibly shaken and appeared to be crying. I knelt down next to her and opened the closet all the way, whispering, "What's going on?" She didn't say anything though. She just kept putting her finger on her lips, telling me to be quiet.
Yo, better jump this dude!
I tugged at her arm to pull her out of the closet, and when she was out, I pushed the closet shut quietly. This revealed my sister's room again, as well as somebody clear as day standing direct center in my sister's room. I don't know if he was facing us or not, but that didn't matter, because we both wailed as we ran together. I felt the vibrations of the man stomping close behind us. We went straight for the car. I was able to lock the doors without even a second to spare before the man chasing us tried the door handle. When he realized it was locked, he started bashing at the window with his shoulder. All while my sister was screaming and wailing, making the matter worse. Through the intensity of the situation, I still was able to make the connection. It was the same man who had been stalking me on Instagram.
I know this.
I had to do a 3-point turn, but all the while I was honking the horn to get as much attention as possible from the neighbors.
I'm telling you, I love when people be thinking like me in like scary situations. Like the whole time in the car, my hand would have been on the horn because she said it was locked in there. Hand on the horn while reversing me. The whole time, because you gotta wake up the whole freaking block, forget that. But my thing though, like, okay. What the freak? I hope her sister, I hope they at least tell a little bit of the sister's side. Because how was she in there that long and dude was in the room and not know she was in that freaking closet? Like, I guess the dude was in there probably like peeping around looking for them or something. They thought maybe they were both gone. But regardless, like, you know how scared I'd be if I'm a chicken, I'm in the closet. I'm like, oh my God, this man is in here trying to, ain't no telling what he trying to do. Why am I actually just whispering right now? Oh no. I like this one.
My turn. But all the while, I was honking the horn to get as much attention as possible from the neighbors.
I'd be still driving.
I think it worked, because he got into his car, which turned out to be the Maxima, and did a 3-point turn as well. At first we thought he was tailing us, but instead he booked it past us and down another street to never be seen again. At that point, we just turned around and went back to the house. I called our parents and then the police. The police were able to find out how the man broke in through an upstairs window. He climbed up a ladder onto the awning and boosted himself up to the windowsill. I told the police about how he was stalking me on Instagram and must have somehow found my address when I posted my most recent picture with my sister, which included my house number. I tried to help them by giving the man's Instagram account, but when I went to the blocked accounts section, it was empty. That meant that the man already deleted his Instagram. Therefore, even if there is a way for Instagram to track deleted users, it didn't matter because I didn't remember the man's username. So I hate to say it, but there was nothing the police could do, and I knew it.
Probably got other victims.
I've since set my Instagram to private and really only accept follow requests from people I know now.
I bet.
I'm also a lot more paranoid and wary of posting revealing photos.
Like, I'm not even a female, but even, well, it don't even matter. Not even just that, but not even just that. Like, I never ever, even when I take pictures of stuff, I make sure like my address is not showing. I even make sure other people around me, if I'm outside, address is not showing. Like, don't let nobody address show. Clown.
I came across something recently that has been freaking me the hell out. Before I get into my discovery, let me just get into a little backstory that makes the discovery even more disturbing. For the past few weeks or so, on several occasions, while either trying to sleep in my bed or doing something in my room with a light on at night, I would hear a single, faint yet audible tap on my window. I hardly want to call it a tap, because none of the sounds really resembled an intentional tap.
You just hear a...
It sounded more so like something accidentally being scraped or pressed against the glass very briefly.
But I hope it's a rat.
At first I thought it was just bugs flying into the window. But as the same sound kept happening at least 2 or 3 times a week, I started to get freaked out by it.
What floor are you on?
So I told my dad, and he of course told me it's nothing. Probably just bugs like I initially thought.
Well, I'm sleeping in here then.
So nothing happened for a few nights. But then, I got a text from a friend. Well, not a friend. Just some guy I used to have a class with who somehow coerced me into giving him my number. He said, "Hey, I don't know if you remember me. We used to have a class together. I just wanted to let you know about this. I stumbled upon it by accident. And if you're unaware of it, that's pretty disturbing." Then he added a link to the bottom of the message. I pressed it, and it took me to an Instagram page. The page was titled JP Unofficial. Those were my initials. But that wasn't the first thing I noticed.
There's pictures of her. The
first thing I noticed was the profile picture, which was me. And then the 45 pictures uploaded to that account were all of me. They weren't like pictures that I took though, they were all candid. I mean, like, they were pictures I never even knew were taken. Some were...
This guy is big crazy! Oh my god, you not scared me out on the page like, hey, if a girl here like, I don't remember me, boy, but just check out this link. And I go to her page and it's like, the love of my life in Charlie. And I see a million pictures. But you gotta play it off though, because obviously this guy is big crazy. You don't want to just like, oh my god, you psycho. You're like, you gotta play it like, oh my god, that's so cute. You like me that much, because crazy people don't make them mad. All right, basically that's what I learned from movies. Don't make them mad. They already crazy. Making them mad is gonna make them like more crazy. Like that's not work. But you know what I mean.
Me at the beach, somewhere of me sitting in my car.
Oh my god.
But the newer ones got even weirder.
She's in the shower or something.
Somewhere of me in my backyard. And then the worst ones were the most recent.
Sleep.
There were pictures of me in my room, taken from outside my window.
It's crazy.
Some of me sitting on my bed doing homework or
now
texting.
We know what it is.
Others of me standing, with one even of me in my underwear. I felt sick. I felt like crying and throwing up.
Crazy.
All of the pictures had at least 2 or 3 likes. Some had comments, but not comments pointing out how wrong this is. They were comments encouraging it, saying things like, go for it, or hot, or what I'd do if I could get my hands on her.
People are...
The captions on the photos, too. They were all things like, the love of my life, or she went to the beach today, or I just like to watch her.
Wow.
My mouth was twitching as a tear rolled down
I'd
my
have been
face.
shaking. Oh my God.
I was so disturbed, I can't even describe the emotions I was feeling. And then, there was a sound again at the window.
Him again.
The sound. The unintentional scrape or tap. And then it clicked. It made sense now. When I put 2 and 2 together, I simply snapped. I lost it and screamed louder than I'd ever screamed before. My dad came rushing in with open arms.
Your daddy got a gun.
And asked what's wrong.
I don't need no hug.
I showed him the Instagram page and explained the taps at the window. Well, explained is a stretch. I was a mess and could barely speak clearly. My dad's expression went from gentle to horrified to downright
As a dad,
angry.
he should have went to, I'm
He
killing
rushed
this clown.
outside screaming, making a scene for the neighbors, looking for the stalker. He then came inside and called the police. I gave the police the Instagram account and requested they track it as soon as possible.
Yeah, they ain't about to do that.
Law enforcement put the request into Instagram.
Yeah.
By the time it was received, the account was deleted, but it didn't matter because Instagram was still able to recover the info, and the usage was traced to an old iPod Touch.
iPod Touch.
Unfortunately, the device was untraceable. It was either destroyed or it had its Wi-Fi turned off
The
permanently.
iPod Touch got Wi-Fi?
My dad saw how messed up I was, and he plans on moving us out of the house within the month.
He gonna follow.
Luckily, there haven't been any new sounds, but I've also made sure to keep all my blinds shut 24/7, and always make sure I'm not being tailed while driving.
Forget.
All I could think to say to everybody is keep your Instagram private and always be alert to your surroundings.
Forget keep your blinds shut. You need a gun in there, a pit bull in there, and burglar bars on your windows. Like no kidding. My thing is I don't get like forget blinds, my guy. You look, get a dog, get a gun, and burglar bars on the freaking windows. But even if I like, all right, boom, let's say like I'm at your window taking pictures of you, whatever. I'm trying to get pictures. And I look and I see that big booger in your nose. I wouldn't even want to take no picture. That's a big booger. I ain't got no booger, but look. Anyway, if I'm at your window, what was he doing to make, like, this is the window. You can stay back and just clink, clink, clink. Was he doing like this? Like purposely putting the camera on the window? Like, what was the tapping from? Like, that means he had to be dummy close on me, and you should have been able to see him because tapping from the window, like, you can take a picture through a window, Mike. I don't know. I wish they would have went on that a little more. And I wish they would went a little more in on, what was it, the second story or the third one? I forgot which one it was. The one about when the girl left, came back, and her sister was in the closet. Someone know, what was her, obviously her sister's side was the more scary side. We should have got her side. Like, I want to know her freaking side. But yo, either go, this one was good, like my phone was going off. Like I figured, I knew this one was going to be good because I just couldn't picture Instagram having anything scary happening. But I mean, obviously, it's social media. It's always something scary gonna happen. But this one was hella good. Yo, if you guys enjoyed the video, do not forget, actually, before I wrap this up, please, I let you guys and girls know every freaking time when I watch these kind of videos to be safe, play it safe. Boys, do not just be thinking with the second head. Girls, be smart, okay? If it is like, yo, all right, I met someone, I want to meet them in a public place in the daytime. A public place in the daytime. Because that way, if this person is crazy, you're surrounded by hundreds, possibly hundreds of people. That way, all right, you should be good. Also, when you leave, make sure this person is not following you or anything like crazy like that. Just be freaking safe. Do not go to anyone's home. I don't care how pretty you think they are, how bad they look, whatever. Do not go to this person's house. Do not invite this person to your house. Meet them in a public, if you're gonna meet someone online, meet them in a public place in the daytime. I don't care if they're like, well, I get off work, oh, it's 2 a.m. Let's meet in the park. You get off work 2 a.m. Then call me on your off day. Hit me up on your off day. We meet then, clown. Meet it in the public place. Like when I used to meet, I did some stupid ones. I told you guys my story. We ain't gonna get into all that. But overall, if I felt like if my suspicion was kind of like a little bit, spider sense was going off a little bit, I was like, yeah, we gonna meet in the mall. and it's gonna be in the daytime. Even though you the girl, I don't care, because I can get there. You can be some big burly like crazy dude, whatever. Forget all that. But yo, be safe. Be freaking safe. Be freaking safe. That's all I can tell you guys. All right. Enjoy the video with the like, comment, share, guys. Make that awesome. But until next time, buddies. Charlie's out.